Hey there, folks. Just bringing you an update real quick about getting that ball rolling. But before we start there, and before I start rambling, let me just answer a question real quick because a lot of folks have been asking me about getting the Darkshore project to run. So here's this zip. It's one of the three zips you'll find in the Darkshore project main zip. You'll see three zips when you unzip the main zip. There's one for add-ons, there's one for add-ons data, and there's one for server data, which we're unpacking right now. The server data is the only really important one. If you want my add-ons or if you want my add-on settings, like my user interface, just like it was in the Darkshore project, then all of that is in the zip, in the main zip. Go ahead, use it, do whatever with it. But this is about getting the server data to go, and actually loading it up on your client. Anyway, on to the main topic of this update. First of all, let me just say that Kargoz and Countdown to Classic have both extended invitations to me. Kargoz invited me at 1400 Pacific time, or 2 p.m. Tomorrow, actually, as of this video. Tomorrow to go on to Good Morning Azeroth. And Countdown to Classic has invited me at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, 2 days from now. So, I plan to appear on both of those podcasts as appointed, and I really want to extend my thanks once again to both of these folks for the assistance, for extending the invitation, because it's very helpful to me. It's very, very helpful because I really need the exposure right now. And the opportunity to come on and chat about whatever it is. Maybe we'll be talking about what being a game master was like. Maybe we'll answer some more hunter questions. But the opportunity to go out there, just chat, it's truly generous. And I give you my sincerest thanks. I give you one big gigantic thanks for your generosity with your time and attention. I really appreciate it. So make sure you tune into Good Morning Azeroth at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and to Countdown to Classics podcast at 6 p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time Friday. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Aside from all of that, some of you guys have expressed willingness to support me in my endeavors, and I have to, once again, be at a loss for words here, because words cannot express just how thankful I am, how grateful I am to have your support. Having friends at my back makes me feel capable of doing anything. And it means a lot that you guys love my content that much, that you'd wish to extend a helping hand like this. So don't you worry, I'll be bringing as much content to you as I possibly can. And to that end, I've also submitted a Patreon page for review, and we'll hear back from them and see what they say. I've been getting requests to stream, and I've actually never streamed before. It's totally new to me. So I already set up a Twitch. I'm gonna see about what streaming is like. I'm gonna see how it all works, but I've got to see it when Official Classic comes out. That's when I'm gonna start streaming. To fill in the blanks until the 27th, 6 days from now, which I believe is the release date of Official Classic. We do have those two shows with Kargoz and Countdown to Classic, and I do have a few Amnesia episodes backed up, recorded, all that stuff. And it's really unfortunate. In the last episode, I mentioned in the last episode, I mentioned in the description that my machine, like my real computer, is completely broken. This laptop that I'm on right now, it's well, I kind of had to factory reset it to get it to work at all. And the problem with the old machine It was actually a really big problem. Apparently the cooling system malfunctioned, which caused the motherboard to overheat, which caused a whole bunch of other parts to break. So I need to replace so much stuff. It's been in the shop for a while because I can't get it put together myself with all the parts that are missing. Um, but they'll be taking care of it. They said that it'll be back in it'll be ready for pickup in like I don't know a couple days. So I might have it back in that time. But while I get all that set up, I do have some amnesia episodes backed up. You know, it's even more ironic. It's even more pitiful because this new machine of mine, the one with the screwed cooling system, which caused the motherboard to have its problems. I was backing up like a whole bunch of raw footage on the morning that it decided to break on me. So that's a whole bunch of stuff that I've got to re-record. Too bad about that. So folks absolutely want me to continue with the Hunter content, and I absolutely will continue with it. Um, I'll be on Herod on Official Classic. A whole bunch of old friends from Nostalrius want to go there, so I'll be there. But in the interim, until Official Classic, until I figure out how to get Twitch working and stuff, I might release a couple of Amnesia episodes. You know, some old-fashioned, candid Let's Plays, and we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun with it. Anyway, it looks like this zip is just about done. So the first thing you should do is make sure that your realm list is set to this. I don't know why 127.0.0.1 works like that. It just does. If you put one of those little squigglies before a line, it'll null it out. It'll ignore the line, so you can keep old realm list data that way. Now it's totally unpacked. Let's go ahead into the folder. Now there are three things that we got to start up here. So we start MySQL first. This is some kind of prerequisite. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a prerequisite for getting the realm data and Mangos data to work. The realm data is what we initialize next. It contains the realm data. It just causes the realm to show up. And the Mangos data, that's the most important one. It'll do its thing for maybe about 45 seconds to a minute on your first startup. I had this running a minute ago, so it'll only take like, yeah, 13 seconds. Very fast. So the next thing we got to do is see this WDB folder. Now the WDB folder is the game cache. It contains item data, some creature data. So just delete the entire folder. Just delete the entire folder. Don't touch the WTF that contains add-on data. But by deleting the game cache, we basically eliminate the old data and allow new data to come in. And that's how you get the custom items and stuff. So let's start by logging with admin2, admin2. This is the GM account. You can screw around with it. If you type .commands, you'll see a list of commands right here. And there's a lot to experiment with here, but there are only a few really important commands that you actually need. The GM character can run around at will, see Shadowclaw even in stealth, provided that you have GM mode enabled, that is. And you can even change the faction of certain NPCs if you want to fight them, like this here fishing sentinel. Oh, let me turn GM off. And there we go, we just smack her with the axe and she calls us a jerk. Sorry. You know, she just wants to fish. There we go, we set her back to friendly. So, I mean, Rizaya has her own set of gear. That's plenty of fun on its own. And, you know, you could go running around with it, shoot whatever. But the real kicker is the second account. Let's get on that right now. So the main account is admin. Again, there's details in the README. You'll see the same level 12 hunter that I used at the start of the DSP, the Darkshore project, Darkshore Mythic. And she starts with exactly the same quests that I started with when Darkshore Mythic began. Except you don't spawn on the boat, you just spawn in the inn. She's ready to go. So we start with this Nessa's Collection quest, but we also don't start with a ranged weapon. And the reason for that is because we actually have choices in what ranged weapons we can get. So just pay attention to the quest text for a second here. This Laird fellow says that Nessa is actually in Alberdine right now. And she'll give us our choice of ranged weapon. That's the first thing you want to do when you load this thing up. You just complete his quest, you run over here, talk to Nessa, and get yourself whatever you want. I find myself most at home with the Oriox repeater, because I love me a crossbow. You'll also get a random amount of silver, which ranges from like 50 to 90, something really decent. You can always start with whatever. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. That fishing sentinel actually sells the fishing quest items. See, you'd never actually need to leave Alberdine anymore. Or you never need to leave Darkshore. All the quest NPCs for whatever you want are here. The questing is 100% streamlined. So, you know, that book that you got to turn in Ironforge is there, but you'll notice that she didn't have electropellers. That's because the one that sells it is up by the Cliffspring River. So if you go up to the Cliffspring River, you'll find another party of sentinels. They have a fishing sentinel there, and that one sells the electropellers that you need for the second quest, past Gafferjacks. We also have some additional pet options, like you start with the Wind Serpent by default. We also start with 20 food for each type of pet. The Wind Serpent will eat bread, the cat and Scorpid can eat the meat. There's also a meat vendor in this building over here. But anyway, listen, that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to show you how to get this thing started and give you a little update on how things are going. So I'll see you guys around. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for listening. Check the description for links to my new Twitch, which isn't in use yet, and for a link to the Discord server, which I started up. I'll include a Patreon link in my next video, which will probably be an Amnesia one, just because... you know, we got 6 days until Official Classic comes out, alright? We'll see what happens then. But in the interim, I want to release some typical Let's Play style things, very candid, very lax, and very fun, too. So, I'll see you there. Bye, guys.